We are finally into eclipse season. We have the dispositor of the sun and moon, the ruler of this eclipse, exalted in the sign of Pisces. This eclipse energy shows us that the outcome of whatever it is that's unfolding in our lives right now is absolutely magical. Hi everyone, Heather here with astrologywithheather.com, and I'm back with another super exciting extended 2-week forecast. This one is for April 30th all the way through to May 14th of 2022, and we are finally into eclipse season. That is right, this is the moment that you've all been waiting for, the new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus. It's a partial solar eclipse, but it's actually a really powerful energy in a variety of different ways. I'm actually calling this one the exalted eclipse because we have the dispositor of the sun and moon, the ruler of this eclipse, exalted in the sign of Pisces in an exact conjunction with Jupiter on the day of this eclipse. This is unreal, you guys. This is a beautiful, powerful, karmic, transformative energy that can show up to bring us blessings that align us with our destiny in the most wonderful of ways. Of course, it is an eclipse, so there will be turbulence, there will be discomfort along with the change. Anytime that we have to change something, of course, it's going to feel uncomfortable. And of course, there's going to be some rearranging going on. But this eclipse energy shows us that the outcome of whatever it is that's unfolding in our lives right now is absolutely magical. It's absolutely wonderful. It's definitely in our best interest. And so I love this energy, and I'm so excited to get to present some good news for you guys this time around because it's much needed, right? The next eclipse in the cycle is going to be a little bit more iffy, but this first one that we're starting out this lunar month ahead with, this one is great. And so yeah, I'm very excited. So we have this new moon partial solar eclipse in Taurus. Not only is the dispositor of the eclipse, the ruler of the eclipse, Venus, exalted and in a conjunction with the other benefic planet in our solar system, but we also have a really beautiful mitigating influence to that Uranus-Saturn energy that we've been dealing with ongoing since the start of 2021, actually, the end of 2020. And so this eclipse is actually going to be in a really nice, really tight sextile or conjunction with Uranus, but in a sextile with Mars as well. And so this shows that we're going to have a lot of really crazy, really unbelievable new beginnings, I should say. Yes, some things can come up for us that can be absolutely shocking, that can throw us for a loop, that can just come out of nowhere and cause us to have to pivot, to have to change, to have to jump headfirst into something brand new. But again, that discomfort, that uncomfortable period is leading us to something really amazing that could be really potentially a really great thing for us later on down the line, or even right now in the moment. And so yes, there's some shakiness. Yes, there's some turbulence, but it's being elevated and utilized in a really productive way, in a really exciting way, in a really highly energized and motivated way, where we can actually kind of take this energy of Uranus, which is in the sign of Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign. Uranus likes to change things. It likes to shake things up. And, you know, Taurus is a sign that wants to keep things as they are. It wants to still stay comfortable. In this moment, when we have this new moon, when we have this eclipse, this is a time where we see where we need to change, and we're a little bit more willing to embrace the unknown, to jump in head first, to dive into those uncomfortable things that we know we need to get started with, that we know we need to gain momentum with, that we know we need to launch into in order to align ourselves with our highest purpose, with our destiny. This is a karmic energy. The signs, the synchronicities, they're going to be abundant right now, especially for those who are being impacted very strongly by this particular eclipse. And of course, we'll get into that when we get into the forecast for all 12 signs. Speaking of which, I just want to mention, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Heather Eland. I'm a professional astrologer and astrology teacher. I specialize in helping my students learn to give meaningful, accurate astrology readings with confidence. And if you want to learn more about that, download my astrology free 101 PDF guide, actually, if you're a beginner and you want to get some insight into what the heck we're talking about here on my channel. But the way that I structure my videos is that I always start with a 5 to 10 minute general overview of the energy for the next 2 weeks. Make sure you don't skip this because it provides an important context for the forecast that we're going to be doing for all 12 signs. Speaking of which, when we do get into the forecast for all 12 signs, make sure you listen to your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign to get a more holistic overview of the energy for your next 2 weeks ahead. Your rising sign will be the most predominant energy, your sun sign will be secondary, and your moon sign is important to listen to as well, although this energy will be a little bit more internalized and subjective. Finally, at the end of each video, I do a brief overview, 2 to 3 minutes, of the next 2 weeks where we're going to be talking about the blood moon total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you stick around until the end if you're interested in learning more. But basically, yeah, this is the biggest energy right now. This entire next 2 weeks, we're going to be dealing with the eclipse energy being activated with this beautiful new moon eclipse in Taurus. I do actually really like this energy. I tend to kind of like eclipses anyway. Energetically, they kind of align with my chart. I'm an eclipse baby. And so if you haven't already done so, I have a whole video about what it means to be born under an eclipse. And speaking of which, I have a free gift for all of you. My Karmic Power of Eclipses webinar. It's a 2-hour webinar that typically is a paid webinar. I'm giving this to you as a gift, absolutely free of charge. The link is down in the description below. You're going to learn all about what it means to be born under an eclipse, what the eclipses mean when they show up in your chart more in detail than what I can do in these, shorter forecasts. You're going to learn about eclipses conjunct your planets, eclipses transiting through the birth chart, your pre and postnatal solar and lunar eclipses. We talk about that as well. We go into a lot of detail about a lot of different eclipse topics because eclipses are some of the most karmic, life-changing, transformative energies that predict the biggest moments of upheaval and change in our lives. And so I want you guys to be prepared for this eclipse season because it's a big one. And this entire year, we have some pretty big eclipses. Again, link is down in the description below. Karmic Power of Eclipses webinar, my free gift to you. And so, yeah, that's the kind of the biggest energy. That Venus-Jupiter conjunction, though, that's happening at 27 degrees in the sign of Pisces, and that's conjunct Neptune. So we've had this ongoing Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, which has been providing a lot of blessings and a lot of really good, positive, hopeful energy where things feel like they're opening up. We see the opportunities, we see the possibilities in our lives amidst a lot of challenge and a lot of crunchy energy. We have also Saturn squaring the North and South node right now, you guys. This has been ongoing for several weeks and it's still ongoing. We have Saturn slowing down because it's close to that stationary period, and we have the lunar nodes actually moving a lot slower than normal as well. During the eclipse season, they just don't move as quickly. And so we have this lingering energy of Saturn, which is a heavy, stale, stuck, karmic, burdensome energy aligned with the lunar nodes, which are very karmic and can be quite a heavy energy sometimes because it shows us kind of the results of our past experiences. It shows us where we're like falling into repeating karmic patterns from this lifetime, from previous lifetime experiences. It shows us what's holding us back and what we need to actually branch out and move into. That can also feel quite scary. And Saturn rules fear. So what I'm seeing right now with my students, with my clients, just collectively, is there's a lot of hope, but also a lot of fear. Fear around moving forward, fear around facing obstacles, fear around taking responsibility for your actions, for what you've created and what you are creating in your life, fear of taking the next step into the unknown, because eclipses are always this period where things feel kind of eerie, kind of strange, almost ominous, because we are moving into something that's truly unknown, that we've never dealt with individually or collectively. In our lifetimes, in previous lifetime experiences, it's a brand new experience. And so that can be kind of scary. And so there will be still that sense of like lingering hesitation, fear, where we feel like we can't do it, or we're not good enough, or we don't want to, or we're just avoiding that next step that we know that we need to take in order to gain momentum. But this eclipse is going to push us into it. So this first eclipse is all about brand new beginnings. It's about changing something tangible to create a new experience that's more aligned with your path, your purpose, with what you know deeply in your heart that you desire and that you need to move forward with, to branch out into, to align yourself with. That could be in the form of a new job, a new creative passion, a new relationship. You might want to completely uproot your entire life and turn it all upside down, depending on how this is affecting you, especially if you're a fixed sign. We'll talk about that. But it's a big moment. And that's really what we're going to be dealing with these next couple of weeks. As we get closer to the eclipse on May 15th, that blood moon eclipse that I talked about, that's where we're going to start to feel more of the fear and hesitation. It's kind of like at this new moon, we see all the possibilities and we're ready. We're like, I'm ready to lunge into this. I'm ready to start this. I feel excited about it. And then as we start to get that momentum going and we see things starting to align and we know the direction we need to take, that's where that fear creeps in. That's where that hesitation begins to set in. And so that's what we're going to be really feeling at the tail end of these 2 weeks, because we're going to have the Sun conjunct the North Node on May 13th, squaring Saturn. And that's ushering us into the really exact activation of that Saturn square to the nodes that'll be occurring on May 15th. It's going to be a massive energy with that T-square, with that blood moon. And so while you have that momentum, while you have that feeling of I can do this, use it, right? Journal about it, remember it, hold it in your mind so you can come back to it, because when that fear creeps in, when that hesitation comes in, when that blockage comes in that seems insurmountable, that's preventing you from achieving your goals or moving into that next phase, remember this moment where you were like, yes, I know where I'm going. Yes, I feel like I can do it, because you can do it. There will be blockages. Something will come in. It's probably something that you created of your own volition in the past that you're kind of having to deal with, like, yeah, I did that to myself, didn't I? And now I have to deal with this. If I want to do this thing, I got to face this first, right? And so that is something also that just to be aware of in the next 2 weeks. Of course, forewarned is forearmed, but for right now, let's focus on the momentum. So let's get into the forecast for all 12 signs. And again, free Karmic Power of Eclipses webinar down in the description below. I hope to see you guys there. All right, and for Aries and for Aries rising. So for Aries, this new moon partial solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus is happening in your second house of money and finances and material possessions. It could be that you have a new opportunity to make a big purchase that is somehow aligned with something that you need to own or obtain, or it could even be that finally the money comes through for something that you've been saving up for and wanting for so long. This is something that I think you have the green light to go ahead with. It's aligned with your destiny, but just know that there's going to be some ups and downs, and it's not going to be exactly what you think it is, especially if you're making this purchase around the time of the eclipse season. That being said, even if it's not exactly what you think you want or you think you need, it'll be what you actually need, because the nodes kind of ensure that. And also the end result, I think, is going to be quite positive for you. You have a lot of really beautiful energy, especially if you're buying something that has to do with maybe a deepening of your spiritual practice, or something that's intended to guide you to have greater rest, greater relaxation, greater periods of solitude and contemplation that are much needed for you right now. That being said, there's also the Jupiter-Venus conjunction in your 12th house. And so this could be a time where spiritual insights, spiritual downloads, where your spiritual connection to everything and anything is going to be enhanced. You're going to be like a psychic tuning fork right now, getting all sorts of downloads, picking up on all sorts of wonderful things mostly. You might be hypersensitive to the point where it's a little uncomfortable. However, I would say that this is a time where your intuition is locked and loaded. You are ready to understand things at a depth and an interconnected level that you've never understood them at before. So this is a really profound time for deep spiritual exploration, deep inner work, deep contemplation, deep creativity, writing, painting, things of that nature, dreaming, meditating, entering into sort of trance-like states or altered states of consciousness. All of these things are actually quite nice for you right now. But the main thing with this eclipse is that you're initiating something physical. So it's interesting that like this energy is connecting to the very, very physical and tangible, but also the very non-physical and completely intangible at the same time for you. So it's almost as if you have to move forward with something physically in terms of creating new resources for yourself or creating a different way of making money, right? Aligning yourself with a financial opportunity or a material opportunity of some kind in order to deepen the inner work and to do that spiritual exploration. And so that's quite exciting for you. The one area of hesitation is going to be your friends and group associations. Pay no attention to what they say or do or think about what it is that you're doing right now, because that's where you're going to get a little hung up. And we'll talk about that a lot more in 2 weeks when we get into the forecast for the blood moon. All right. And for Taurus and for Taurus rising, your whole life could potentially be changing right now, Taurus. So this is a powerful energy, especially if you're a Taurus sun, moon, or rising anywhere near 10 or 22 degrees in the sign of Taurus. 10 degrees will be experiencing this much more pleasantly. 22 degrees will be experiencing more of the harsh, burdensome side of this eclipse energy. However, regardless of what side you're on, regardless of how you're experiencing this internally and externally, this is a life-changing moment. This is where everything is moving in a new direction and you're gaining a lot of momentum toward that direction. And it's for a reason. It's not without purpose. This is also a time where fated changes that you make in your life could align you with new connections, or could realign you with old connections, with old partnerships, with old friends, with old associates that you had forgotten about, or you thought that that situation or that cycle had ended and you realize it has to come back around either for a purpose, for a reason, for a season, or to make this person a really integral, important part of your life. This is a really profound time for beautiful, deep spiritual connection with friends, with group associations, with people that you surround yourself with by choice. This is also a time where you could get some sort of reward through your work or your business in some way, or where your connection to somebody in a position of power and authority could provide something really fruitful for you a little bit later on down the line, or even right now in the moment as this is occurring. This is a great social energy, I would say, first and foremost. There's going to be some challenges in the area of work, but if you're able to face those challenges head on and to take responsibility for your role in creating some sticky situations there, the rewards are going to be really profound. And so that's what's going on for Taurus. And for Gemini and for Gemini rising. So for Gemini, this new moon eclipse energy is happening in your 12th house. This is a time for you to take a little breather, take a step back, spend some time in solitude, seclusion, contemplation, meditation, pull yourself away from the world and figure out what the heck you need to let go of in order to bring in something new, something really profound, really important that you know that your heart is connected to, that you know that you need to be moving into. This could also be you having to let something go in order to bring something back into the mix from your past experience involving or in order to improve your health, your daily routines, your nutrition, things like that. This could also be you reconnecting with an employee or somebody who was working or acting in service for you in the past, and that could actually be a really great blessing for you, and that could help you a lot when it comes to your achieving your bigger goals, especially in your work and your career out in the public sphere. Even if you're not working, your goals toward the legacy that you want to leave behind after you're no longer present on this earth, after your working years, things like that. Even this Saturn energy for Geminis is hitting you in a way that's a little bit nicer than for some of the other signs, and so I love that. If you're a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising near that 24th degree, so really anywhere from, let's say, 20 to 28 degrees, you're going to be feeling this in a positive way, where this is a very strengthening energy. Whatever it is that you're creating and manifesting right now, it's aligned with your integrity, and you're in it for the long haul. You know that this is not a one and done situation. You know that this is something that you have to continue to work on and to build toward well into the future. And so, yeah, that's what's going on for Gemini. I would say that this could also be leading to something really profound in terms of opportunities when it comes to your work and when it comes to your biggest ambitions and goals in your career. And so spending that time away from the world, pulling yourself out of the limelight, pulling yourself out of the day-to-day grind, that's going to help you to align yourself much more clearly with these new opportunities that could be coming your way in the next 2 weeks. And for Cancer rising. So for Cancer, this energy is happening in your 11th house, which is the house of friends, group associations, your social networks, people that you surround yourself with by choice. And so this could be really profound, really karmic new connections coming in through your friends, through your group associations, through your networks. This could also be a new opportunity that comes to you through a boss or a superior, or through a business, or through something that has sort of a higher status, or through an authority figure, or through maybe even a government entity, especially like a financial or monetary reward or something along those lines. That could be part of this too. But I really feel like this is more of a social energy. It's almost like you meet some people or a group, or you connect yourself with these people that have ideas that are very different from what you're used to, from your own ideas even, and it opens your mind, it broadens your perspective, and you're like, hey, I'm ready to jump right into exploring this perspective, this ideology, this new way of thinking. And exploring that perspective can have really profound effects on your worldview and on the way that you frame this reality, which in turn has a really profound effect on everything in your life right now. And if you are a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising anywhere around that 27th degree, where we're having that Venus-Jupiter conjunction, oh my goodness, this is powerful. You could have a lot of really incredible opportunities that come to you, not just for travel, for higher wisdom, for connecting with somebody who has greater knowledge, things of that nature, all those ninth house things, but also this could be opportunities that come to you that align with your integrity. This could be the spotlight on you, something that you've been really wanting to achieve on a personal level that grows and expands in some way. This could even be improvements in your health and in all of your relationships, really. This is a great time for relationships and for forming new connections for Cancer and for Cancer rising. For Leo and for Leo rising. So for Leo, this energy of the new moon partial solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus is happening in your 10th house, which is the house of career and public reputation. This is where some really powerful new beginnings could be headed your way. You've been wanting some change. You've been feeling that restless energy when it comes to your career, when it comes to what it is that you're doing out there in the world. This could take it to the next level. This could bring you to the next phase in your journey. Even if you're not in your working years or you're not employed, this could bring employment, or this could bring an opportunity for you to do something or create something aligned with your goals that you can put out there into the world for other people to see, to recognize. This could also be a new beginning or a karmic situation that occurs for you involving somebody in a position of power and authority, or some sort of powerful entity, like, a government entity or an authority figure, or somebody who you really look up to. This could be an opportunity to move in the direction of connecting with that person or with their energy in some way. And so this is all really good. The other thing that I see going on here is that whatever it is that you're aligning yourself with out there in the public sphere, it's tied in somehow to it's tied in somehow to kind of either occult sciences, that could be part of it. So this is, yeah, this is kind of an interesting energy. If you're somebody who studies like astrology or magic or, you know, any of these things that are kind of considered to be aligned with like the occult or things that are a little bit more taboo, this is a time where you could have some sort of profound breakthrough. This is also where the headway that you're making in your career could lead to some sort of investment opportunity or aligning with an investor, because this is the house of other people's money. This could also just be something as simple as like you file your taxes for your business and you get a really big refund or some sort of tax break or something like that comes through for you. But something's here. And if you're looking for some sort of loan, especially tied to a business or even tied to like your home and your property, this is a time where, again, that could come through and you could have a lot of good luck. And it could be a lot easier to pay off than you initially had thought that it would be. This could also be your partner getting a new job or getting a new opportunity. So if you're in partnership in marriage or something along those lines, it could be your partner bringing in a little bit more dough. And it could be as simple as that. All right, and so that's what's going on for Leo. So for Virgo and for Virgo rising. So for Virgo, this energy of the new moon is happening in your 9th house, which is the house of travel, foreign countries, foreign connections. This is also the house of education, higher learning, your perspective through your philosophy, through your religious and spiritual values and belief systems that frame your reality. This is going to be a massive shift in the way that you view the world. That's going to be stimulated by events that transpire and unfold around this eclipse. This is a good thing. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to be like a like mind is blown situation. Like, I thought the world was this way and holy crap, it's not. It might actually be this other way, but this is important. This is leading you to something. This is leading you to a bigger, broader perspective that's going to truly align you with the values that you need to align with in order to get into that next phase of development in your life, like as on a soul level, on a personal level. This could also be you taking a major step or having a major opportunity to align with your integrity, much more so in anything that you're doing out in the world. And this could be an opportunity that comes up to you, like a fated opportunity for travel, especially a special trip to a foreign country, to someplace that's far, that's at a distance. That could be coming up for you. Or this could be a really incredible opportunity that comes your way for you to share the higher wisdom and knowledge that you have, that you hold. So you could have an opportunity to write or to teach or to speak on something. This is also going to have a profound impact in a positive sense on your relationships. It could even be that you do some sort of speaking engagement or you take some sort of course and you connect with somebody, and that connection is very special. And it brings a lot of opportunities, a lot of blessings, a lot of good fortune. And so this is a great time for relationships as well. All right, and for Libra and for Libra rising. So for Libra, this new moon eclipse energy is happening in your 8th house, which is the house of death, first off, death and transformation, but it's also the house of taxes, your partner's resources, other people's money. It's the house of investments, it's the house of inheritance, it's the house of loans and taxes and all of these other different sort of monetary, tangible, physical things. And it's also the house of your fears, psychological issues, trauma, insecurities from your past. And so there could be themes of all of these things coming up all at once right now. I would say especially because of the sextile to Mars in the 6th house and because of the dispositor being in the 6th house of health and physical healing, that this could be a major profound breakthrough on a psychological and emotional level when it comes to your healing that leads to a profound change in your physical well-being in a positive direction. So if you're somebody who's struggling in that area and you're looking to connect the psychological and the emotional with what's going on physically, now's a time where you could have that breakthrough. Now's a time where you could face your fears, you could embrace healing through some sort of past trauma or past experience, and that could have very profound physiological and physical impacts on everything in your life, but especially on your health, right? That physiological impact. So that's something that could be happening. There could also be maybe some sort of investment that you're making or an investment that could pay off for you, that you're making or thinking about making, that could pay off in the future, that could help you on a day-to-day sort of mundane level, on a day-to-day basis. This is also a time where your day-to-day reality, your day-to-day experience could just be really easy, or you could have a lot of really incredible, like beautiful things that happen in these small little tiny ways that add up, where it's just like, I'm having a good time, I'm in a good mood, things seem to be going really well and really smoothly, just on kind of like a normal routine basis. And I mean, that in and of itself could alleviate a lot of stress and a lot of burden. And even for the Saturn energy, Libra, if you're a Libra sun, moon, or rising anywhere from 20 to 28 degrees, you're experiencing that Saturnian energy in a way that's strengthening your resolve, that's making you more determined, that's making you more resilient. I could see this very slowly building up your physical strength, your physical energy, your constitution, so you're much stronger on that physical level moving forward. So very healing eclipse energy, very healing energy overall for Libra. For Scorpio and for Scorpio rising. So for Scorpio, this new moon is happening in your 7th house, which is the house of relationships. And this eclipse energy is impacting you in all the ways, especially if you are a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising anywhere from anywhere around that 10th degree. So I would say maybe 7 to 13 degrees, and then also around the 22nd degree. I would say anywhere really from 20 to 28 degrees because of that Saturn influence. So those are the big kind of key placements for Scorpio. But this is an energy where you're going to have profound changes, karmic breakthroughs, fated new beginnings and opportunities that come to you through relationships, within relationships, because of relationships. There could be new relationships coming in. There could be old relationships coming back around out of the woodwork that you need to integrate or do something with or clear out karma with. This is a time where you're going to be forced to focus less on you and your needs of what you're doing and focus more on the other. What do other people need from you? How can you support other people in your life? How can you support your partner in developing his or her goals, his or her opportunities, his or her aspirations? How can you do something in partnership or in combination with somebody else that's going to make a profound impact? This is where the change is going to be occurring in your life. However, this is going to have ramifications across all areas of your life. Your career could change as a result. Your personal experience, the way that you express yourself physically, even your appearance could change as a result of this. Your health, your home situation, your living situation could be going through some changes that could feel more burdensome than some of these other changes. And also, doing something or launching into something in partnership with somebody else can have a profound impact when it comes to your ability to experience, express, and just embody the energy of joy. Do the things that you love to do because you love to do them. That is a lot of this energy as well. This could actually be an energy if you're somebody who's trying to get pregnant. This is a time where that could come about, even if you're not somebody who's trying to get pregnant, especially for females who are watching this video. This could be that type of energy where that is more likely to occur. But I would say that for most of you, it would be seen as a blessing if that does occur. So if it's something that you truly don't want, you know, it's not as likely. It's because this is more of like an energy where it's like, woo, I'm excited. This happened. It's a you know, beautiful gift, as opposed to like, oh crap. Although there's a little of that too. But yeah, anyway, this is a very creative energy for Scorpio, you know, physically and emotionally and non-physically, you know, creatively on other levels too. And then for Sagittarius and for Sagittarius rising. So for Sagittarius, this energy is happening in your 6th house, which is the house of work, health, and daily routines. This is an energy where your work experience, your day-to-day work life could be shifting or changing in a really powerful way. You could have a brand new opportunity that comes in and throws you for a loop. I would say that when it comes to your day-to-day routines, which are barely a thing for you right now, if you're a Sagittarius rising, especially for most of you, because Uranus has been transiting, now you have the North Node there. It's really hard for you to stick to any sort of regimen or routine right now, even though you might want that, you might crave that with that Taurus in the 6th house. This is going to disrupt that even more so. So make sure you plan lightly, because your plans are just not going to be plans. It's just going to be all over the place. But that's going to be seen, I think, as a really good thing. There's something going on with your work, with your health, with your daily routines, a new opportunity that feels synchronistic, that feels karmic, that feels extra important, that's going to impact you in a really profound and positive way. And it's going to have reverberations that will impact your home, your family, your property, your relationship with your family, your roots. Your roots are expanding. You're having a lot of really beautiful energy in that area. So embrace it while it's here. This would be a great time to buy a home, to renovate a home, to do anything involving your property, to expand on your family, or to connect or reconnect with your family members. All right. And then for Capricorn and for Capricorn rising. So for Capricorn, this energy is happening in your 5th house, lucky Capricorn. That's always a nice one. So this eclipse is hitting you in a really positive way, regardless of what degree your sun, moon, or rising is in, but especially if you're around that 10th degree or if you're around that 22nd degree. This is a time where you're going to have new opportunities, fated opportunities to create something, to have fun, to experience joy, to embrace your hobbies, the things that you are passionate about, the things that you love to do because you love to do them. This could also bring fated, karmic, really exciting new developments involving your children that you want to just launch right into head first. I would say that for some of you, this could even be some of you deciding to homeschool your children or to change something about their education. And this could have a really profound, really positive impact, not just on your children, but on you as well. And this is a time where if you are maybe doing something involving early childhood education, you could have a lot of really great opportunities coming your way. I would say that this could be a really positive thing for you. This is also where your communication with your children will be improved. So if that's an area of stickiness or an area where things have been a little bit more challenging for you, this is an energy where something fated will transpire, something synchronistic will occur that will allow them to open up to you or you to open up to them in the right way to facilitate a deeper connection, a deeper bond. I think this would especially be important for those of you who have teenagers and things like that out there. So yeah, but if you don't have kids, this is still a really beautiful creative energy. This is a really great time to express yourself verbally in a creative way or to write something. So if you were thinking about blogging, writing a book, starting a podcast, making videos, building a website, starting an email list, any of those things, this could provide a fated opportunity that allows you to do it in the best possible way, in a different way than what you thought, but in the right way that's going to further your goals and get you where you need to go. All right, and for Aquarius and Aquarius rising. So for Aquarius, this new moon energy, this partial lunar or solar eclipse in the sign of Taurus is happening in your 4th house, which is the house of home, family, property, real estate, your ancestry, your roots, your parents. All of these things are subject to change right now. There are new beginnings coming your way. It could be a profound change that feels very karmic, feels very fated, feels very important, involving your relationship with your family or your parents. It could be a profound change that you know is on the horizon when it comes to your place of living. Maybe you've been wanting to move or buy a new home or purchase property, and suddenly the opportunity arises, and oh my goodness, with this alignment, with the dispositor and that sextile to Mars in Pisces, in your 2nd house, the money's there, right? Or you could sell a property or move on from a real estate investment, and it could be very, very profitable for you. This is a time where normally, you know, family and money don't mix, but this is a time where maybe they do mix. Maybe your family reaches out and helps you in some way to accomplish a goal or a dream involving your property, or helps your family in some way, or you're able to help someone else's family or help someone in your family. All of these things are possible. Purchases involving like renovations or home improvements or things that are not necessarily, I mean, they could be things that are fixed in your home, but even things that are a part of your home but are not attached to it. So like things like furniture or, you know, just things in your house like that. Those purchases, I think, are really positive right now and can have a really positive impact on your life and on your experience. This could be an opportunity where the money's there to make a major purchase. It could feel luxurious and maybe like extravagant in some way, but I think you're going to be happy with the results even so. And so that's a lot of what's going on for Pisces. Opportunities financially, opportunities in the home, opportunities with your family, shake up energy. It's not necessarily comfortable, but the results are positive. All right, and then for Pisces and for Pisces rising. So for Pisces, this energy feels real good for you. So first off, the new moon partial eclipse energy happening in the sign of Taurus, this is causing you to break away from an old mindset or mentality around something. This could also be you learning something new, especially in smaller bits and pieces, and that could be a really profound change that alters the direction that you're moving into in some way. This could also be an opportunity for some sort of short distance travel or short distance trip, or a change in your sort of routine travel experience. So a change in your commute or a change involving vehicles or transportation that could actually have some like really weirdly positive reverberations to you personally. So maybe it's that you've been like struggling, or like you've been taking the bus and you're like, I just need to get a car. And finally the opportunity comes and the money's there and the resources are there and the right thing shows up at the right time and you're able to do it, and it changes things in a really big way. It could be that you're taking a new course and then that changes your perspective on your reality in a really big way. This could also be a change or a new direction or a fated karmic experience that comes up for you involving your siblings. So you could have a big announcement or a big change or something that you feel really motivated to do in combination with your siblings. This could also bring fated karmic occurrences involving your neighbors, your neighborhood, or your community. But all of these things will impact you personally in a way that gets you feeling fired up and motivated to take some sort of action towards something. And also, all of these are going to result in benefits to you. And so especially if you are Pisces sun, moon, or rising around that 27th degree where you're having that Jupiter-Venus conjunction, oh my goodness, this is a beautiful energy. You're going to be radiating positivity. You're going to be feeling so good. People are going to be noticing you a lot more. You're going to be feeling more attractive. You're going to be feeling more abundant. You're going to be feeling just more optimistic overall. And it's going to be for good reason, because things are going to be going your way a lot more so than they normally would be. And so anything really that you want to take advantage of, anything that you want to do or create or initiate right now because it's in your heart, because you truly and deeply desire it, because you know it's aligned with your path, you have that green light, Pisces, around the time of this eclipse season. It might not turn out exactly the way you think you want it to, but it will turn out in the way that is in your best interest, regardless of what your brain tells you. So I love this energy for Pisces in particular. So thank you guys so much for watching this. So that's my forecast for all 12 signs. So just kind of to do a little overview of the next 2-week forecast, that'll be for May 15th onward. That's going to be the next eclipse in this cycle. It's going to be a total blood moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. This one I'm not as excited for. It's making a very exact T-square with Saturn. This one's going to feel heavy. This one's going to have reverberations that are going to cause challenges and complications for people that are going to be long withstanding. And so be careful what you initiate. It's almost as if it's something that you already have set in motion, or that's already been set in motion in this lifetime or in a previous experience, that you're going to have to kind of come to terms with, and that you're going to have to take responsibility for, and you're going to have to work really hard on. And that's really what's going to be ushered in with this next eclipse, especially at the end of these next 2 weeks and as we come into that eclipse period. And so we'll talk about that a lot more in just 2 weeks. And in the meantime, make sure you go down in the description below so you can access the Karmic Power of Eclipses webinar, so you can have a way more detailed understanding of how these eclipses and eclipses in general impact you and your chart. Again, free gift to you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like the video, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, share this with your friends if you feel like they can benefit from the information that I just presented to you today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.